So we'll see Hadoop and its ecosystem components. This is something very, very important. Okay, and if you have any question, always stop and ask me. Now let's start from the basics, from the base. Okay, from the base where we see what are the Hadoop components. My Hadoop, two important components of my Hadoop are what? We talked about, let me put it this way. My two important components of Hadoop are, this is my HDFS. On top of it, okay, on top of Hadoop HDFS runs my MapReduce, because you're storing the data and then you're processing the data, right? So your MapReduce is here. Now this is nothing but your core Hadoop. Okay, your core Hadoop is HDFS plus MapReduce. So you have a HDFS here and you have a MapReduce here. This is entire Hadoop. Your basic core Hadoop is this. Now what they implemented is, okay, because we are talking about NoSQL, okay, we need to implement a new component. The new component is called as, they have implemented something called as HDFS. HBase. A new component has been implemented which runs right on top of your HDFS. This you're calling as HBase. Okay, HBase is nothing but a database engine. Okay, it's just a database engine, a DB engine which provides you the NoSQL capabilities, and you're directly exploring the data available over here. Now look at the example that we have been talking about. Okay, this is my cluster. This is my Hadoop cluster. I'm saying this is my Hadoop cluster. Okay, in my Hadoop cluster, I have HDFS. I store the data here. Okay, this is my storage component, and I process the data through the MapReduce. Now, how do you process the data? Now, basically, you need to write some kind of a programming language. Okay, you write some kind of a programming language. So you have a Java developer. For that matter, not only Java, it can be any developer. Okay, it can be a Java, C++, .NET, Ruby on Rails. Okay, it can be any developer. So what you do is you write a MapReduce program. Okay, you write a MapReduce program. This MapReduce program will be submitted into the MapReduce, and from the MapReduce, it actually this is the logic we are talking about. You write a program here. You write this program, and this MapReduce is the program you're writing. Okay, in terms of a map and reduce, which we'll talk about later. Now, what is this doing? This program is, you're a developer. This program is doing what? Your responsibility is to analyze the data which is available here. Okay, your responsibility is to analyze the data. So you submit a MapReduce program which is basically trying to process the data which is available on your HDFS layer. So the data is here, you are processing the data via a MapReduce, and this MapReduce is basically written in Java or C++ or .NET or Ruby on Rails. It can be anything. Okay, it can be any of the programs. So the core logic is what? The important logic that you need to do is, your logic is recommendation. Okay, the logic is recommendation. The recommendation is doing what? It is searching the entire data set. Okay, searching the entire data set in terms of a map and reduce. Okay, the map and reduce, for now you just try to understand it's a MapReduce is nothing but a Java program or any kind of a program with a business logic built into it, which will obviously be processing the data. Okay, that's well and good. Okay, this is really doing good, perfectly fine. Now, what's the challenge here? Okay, the challenge here is sometimes you do not only have only the Java developers. In your organization, you will also have, okay, in your organization, you will also have a database developers, or for that matter, you can say a database guys. Okay, so you'll have a database guys. Basically, let me put it this way here. In your organization, you have some database team, and this team does not know the Java programming. Okay, the team is database team. You say database team. And if you tell the database guys to actually explore the data in HDFS, what they will have to do, they will basically have to learn the programming language. And it's really difficult for them to write or to learn the Java program and explore the data here. So they came up with, Facebook especially, Facebook came up with a component, and that component is called as Hive. Okay, and Hive, and it writes, you write something called as a Hive query language. That is called as HQL. Okay, you call it as a HQL, which is nothing but a Hive query language. Now, this Hive query language syntax is exactly similar to your database queries. Okay, you do a select star from. Okay, you do a select star from a table, right? You do a select star from employee table. So when you write a Hive query language, it will exactly be the database SQL it will be exactly similar to the SQL structure. So you'll write the same thing, same statement, like you do a select star from a table. You also write a HQL, select star from a table. So Hive is a data warehouse. Okay, is a Hive, you can talk it off as a data warehouse. It's not a database, it's a data warehouse. Now, when you write a Hive query, okay, we say it's a Hive query. This Hive query is what? This Hive query, through the Hive, you are saying, okay, select star from table, okay, which will basically be converted into a MapReduce program. Okay, this HQL will be converted to a MapReduce program, and this MapReduce program will directly work on the data which is on your HDFS. Okay, it's the same HDFS data. Right? So now you have a Java developers who can write their program, which can run on, which can actually manipulate, which can actually explore the data which is there on HDFS through MapReduce. Now you also have a database guys. Okay, the database guys can also explore the same data. They can also do the same kind of analytics like what these guys are doing, but through Hive. Okay, you write some analytics through Hive, and this Hive HQL or your Hive, which is a data warehouse, which does not have the processing capabilities, what it will do, it will convert your Hive program or your HQL into a MapReduce program, and this MapReduce program is what can only talk to your HDFS. So because we have a MapReduce program, this MapReduce will work on the data over your Hadoop layer on your HDFS. Okay, so perfect. So this is working very good, right? So now you have expanded the ability on your teams. Now you're not dependent only on your Java developers. Now you're not, you can explore. You can ask either your Java developers to explore the data, or you can ask your database teams to also explore the data. Okay, perfect. Well and good. It's also fair enough. Very good. It's running perfectly fine. Now you have someone like, say, data analyst. Data analyst. Okay, so the data analyst do not know no programming, experience, and and no database experience. Okay, so you have some analysts, data analysts, who do not know any programming experience, and they also do not have any database experience. You tell them to explore the data, you tell them to process the data on your HDFS. What will they do? For targeted towards them, they came up with, okay, basically it's, I mean, the guys from Yahoo, okay, Yahoo, so they decided that they will write something called as a pig. Okay, pig is a data flow language. Okay, pig is a data flow language which is a step-by-step instruction. Now what you will do, the data analyst who does not have any knowledge or any information on programming, neither on the database, they will write a simple SQL, or they will write a simple English statements, and those statements are actually sent to the pig. Pig will do what? Pig will leverage your HDFS, sorry, your MapReduce. Pig will convert these statements, these line-by-line statements, into a MapReduce program. And the MapReduce will run what? MapReduce will actually explore the data which is on here. Okay. Now you have expanded the scope of your cluster of the usage by developers, by database team, and by the data analyst, who do not have any experience or do not have any knowledge on programming, neither on database. Now you have expanded the cluster. So you have expanded the scope of people who can actually explore the data here, right? So guys, you're following me. So this is what these are what will fall into your ecosystem components. You call them as the ecosystem components. Now, are we done? No, we are not yet done. Okay, there are some more things which we need to talk about. Okay, there are some more things which we need to talk about. So let's talk about one of the important component, that is your database. Right? You have your database here. You have your database which is in RDBMS. Now, RDBMS has some challenges which we talked about yesterday. Right? The challenges are what? If you have a limited data set, RDBMS are the best, or you can say the best in the market, which will provide you the fastest query output. Okay, if you have a limited data set. But if you have a huge data set, what you will do, what companies are trying to do is, they are trying to load this data, this RDBMS data, into your Hadoop layer. Okay, because it has got huge storage capacity, and on top of it has got multiple processing capabilities as well. So what you need to do, you need one more component here. Okay, you need another component which could basically try to move the data, move your RDBMS data into your HDFS layer. And that component, what you're calling is, what do you call that, guys? The component which moves the data from RDBMS into your HDFS, what do you call that? Sandeep, you should be knowing that. Perfect, wonderful. It's called Nina, so you're saying ETL, okay. It's not ETL, we would try to, okay, coming back to that question, right? So we will not, whenever we're talking about Hadoop, we are not using ETL, okay. I mean, yeah, the process is called as ETL. Okay, the process is exactly similar. Now there are a lot of, from where, I mean, I can understand from where you are coming. So the entire flow you said it's called as an ETL, but there is a specific tool here, and that tool is called as, I mean, maybe I should have not asked this question, but I mean, most of you may not be knowing this also. This is called as a scoop. Okay, scoop is one of the ecosystem components. Okay, scoop is one of the Hadoop ecosystem component. So it basically came from SQ OOP. SQ is SQL, OOP is Hadoop. They picked up these, you can say these words from SQL and Hadoop, right? So, and they made it as a scoop. You can think of it as an ice cream scoop, right? What do you do with an ice cream scoop? You basically take an ice cream scoop and put it into a bowl. right? In the same way, what does the scoop will do? The scoop will actually take your entire database and dump it into your HDFS. Pick up your entire database, RDBMS, and put it into HDFS, and vice versa. It can also has the ability to dump all your HDFS data, if it is a structured data. That is very important. If you have the data on HDFS in a structure, in a proper structure, you can actually move the entire thing from your HDFS into your RDBMS. Okay, into your RDBMS. Now, this is what scoop is. You just imagine it's an ice cream scoop, take it out and dump it here, and vice versa, from HDFS to RDBMS and RDBMS to HDFS. So these are the base or core important ecosystem components of Hadoop. Any questions so far?